the Garnet and Old Show, 7 o'clock, Vince. No inside
7 o'clock.
info, no contacts, no problem. I'm Ryan, and that is Mr. Vince Chiccarelli. How are you today, sir?
Are you not up to speed today, Ryan? You're a little
What do you
slow.
mean?
You're kind of at like a 0.75
You know,
speed
it's not so
today.
much up to speed. I think I'm just, I'm vibing, you know what I mean?
I got you. So
Maybe it's
yeah,
those mood gummies,
it's the
that
goings.
it's,
Yeah. Welcome everybody. No inside info, no contacts, no problem. Brought to you as always by our friend, our compatriot, our Nole brother, John Black, Captain John Black of Captain Black's Fishing in Panama City Beach, Florida. You already know the deal. You watch the show, you know we talk about it every week. Um, Ryan, you are an avid fisherman. I know that about you.
mm-hmm.
I have not really done a lot of fishing in the latter part of my years, but I wish I would. And if I am going to
You
do
have
it,
been fished, though.
that's right, the fish alert. But I would go see Captain John Black. There's nothing better, really, than supporting a fellow Nole, and that is something that he is. He's also a fellow Marching Chief alum, and so that's I'm wearing my. This isn't actually my uniform, but this is a uniform like the one that I wore, and I'm wearing it to start the show off because the Marching Chiefs start their preseason rehearsal tomorrow, where the rookies are basically going to have their lives changed starting tomorrow. So good luck to all the rookies that are going to be trying out for the Chiefs. And yes, you have to try out every year. So let me get rid of this jacket now because it is ridiculously warm.
I like them. Vince, as you slowly and seductively remove that jacket, I want to remind everyone, please hit the like and subscribe button because we're almost to football season. There's going to be a lot coming on. A lot of Knoll talk coming up soon. But Vince, we have some under the radar surprises for tonight's show.
We do. We have a couple surprises, and one of the first surprises is we've got a friend of the program on the show tonight, and we met Jeremy several years ago. Uh, During, I think it was at the spring game, is when we actually first met in person. And but anyway, Jeremy Ivans, who is the host of the Rock Nole channel, is joining the program here this evening. Jeremy, welcome to the show.
Thank you, guys. What's up, everyone? Thanks for having me.
We're happy to have you. How's your channel doing, Jeremy?
It's doing all right.
Yeah.
Doing well. Doing pretty good. I always say one day at a time in this world. I'm just excited for football season.
1% better.
1% better every day. Keep on climbing, everybody.
We're going to talk more about your channel toward the end, so people can know a little bit more about that. But I'll just tease a little bit here. Jeremy's channel is not just about the Noles. Okay, so let's just get that out there, and we can learn more about that toward the end of the program. But, by the way, speaking of all Noles, thank you, Seminole Boosters, for this wonderful hat that I received in the mail yesterday. So I'm wearing that little push there for the boosters. If you have the means, please join.
I got
What do we
a
got
magnet.
tonight, Ryan?
Well, I got a magnet in the mail. That's what us lowly boosters get these days. But it's a beautiful magnet. Best magnet I've ever put on my fridge. Let me tell you
Yeah.
what.
Is it the Dope
Nothing
Campbell
says-
magnet?
Yes.
I didn't even get that.
Yeah.
But,
Well,
Man, what slow week at Florida State news, huh?
yeah.
yeah, there's not too much to talk about tonight. So maybe we'll just stop the show here.
Before we get into FSU talk, please tell me you guys watched that clip of Hugh Freeze losing it on his quarterbacks.
I did not see that. No,
in
I didn't see
practice
it.
today.
Oh, I'll have to look that up. Hey, that's the beauty of getting close to the season, right? Is you're starting
Yeah.
to see all these little blips and nooks and crannies and little, TikTok shots of coaches out of element. I
And
do have
fights.
a present. Yeah, I have a present for you tonight, Ryan, because I know you are. You're starting to feel the vibe of the season coming on. I got a little countdown for you here down in the bottom left corner.
Oh yeah.
That is the countdown. That is the countdown to kickoff of the Bama game. 15 days, 20 hours, 22 minutes, and 6
You
seconds.
guys, are you boys starting to feel the butterflies a little bit about it? Are you starting to feel it?
Definitely.
Are you,
Definitely.
Did the butterflies increase by tenfold or 100-fold when you heard Squirrel White was in a boot at practice?
If the media had access to practice,
Yeah.
those butterflies would have intensified more.
Yeah.
The fact that they're not there and they're hearing about it, it could be just a precautionary thing. So
Yeah.
that's why I'm the butterflies were at a 5 instead of a 10 for me.
I typically don't get like the real rev up nauseous feeling until like a day or two before the game. And which is much better than when I was younger. When I was younger, especially leading into a big game, it was Monday and like I had a hard time eating. You know, I couldn't focus on things. But you know, age kind of smooths those things out, Ryan, just like the gummies you're taking.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Can I tell you that when we lost to Georgia Tech, remember the 55-53, like it was like where they outscored us. I think it was 08.
Yeah, there was no punts in the game or something like that.
Yeah. That night, I remember I was probably, I was freshman in high school, sophomore in high school. Freshman or sophomore in college. I stayed up till like 3 a.m., like frustrated in bed, not being able to fall asleep.
Right.
And that's not healthy. So you're all right as you gain perspective, because back then you had like, when you're in college, you have such a small window of games that you've seen in your life, even though you feel like there are a lot of them that you've seen. So the context of this is the worst thing I've ever seen. As you go through life and you see like Virginia Tech, Florida State at home on as a home opener, and you experience other worse things. When it does happen, you're like, yeah, that sucked. Like last year, all year I just felt numb to the season. Not anger so much as just like the blank stare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Jeremy, do you have a particular game or a time where you literally it got you to a point where you were physically unable to function?
Oh man, God, yeah. I always joke that there were times like, man, I basically had to go to like rehab after a loss. I was so bad for so long. People knew there were rules with me. You can't call me till at least 3 hours after the game if we lost. And then I finally had like what Ryan said, like, all right, if the worst thing of your day is losing a football game, you're okay. If you told 15 years ago me that we're going to lose to Jacksonville State one day on the last play of the game, and you were going to be at a bar and go, okay, one of those nights and leave, I would have laughed at me.
Right.
There
my
are
God,
worse things though, Jeremy. Jeremy, how old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
47. Thanks for.
Okay. So you're in the between. You're like the garnet and middle and old. So what's interesting is the worst experience, and then we'll get into modern stuff. The worst thing that's ever happened to me in my FSU fandom is my birthday weekend, USF at home, whiteout game, 1,000 degrees. My two best friends who went to USF came to Tallahassee for my birthday, sat with me in the student section as Bulls fans, as BJ Daniels ran wild on FSU that day, and then I had to go to AJ's, sunburnt to hell, dehydrated with a headache from drinking all morning, with that loss on my birthday as my two friends were doing the South Florida. I was going to say, Bulls.
Your friends probably handled it really well, didn't they?
Yeah, it was all night. So that was not only the worst FSU memory I have. It was my worst birthday probably ever.
I think for me, and I know I have a bunch, but one that comes to me right away is 2002 FSU Miami, the Greg Jones game, and we lost on the last second field goal. Oh, we missed the field goal.
Yeah, I remember that one.
And just getting taunted by Miami fans on the way out, and just all week we were being laughed at. 17-point underdogs,
Yep.
and we had that game won.
We did.
As
It
And-
happened
James
a
would
couple of
say-
times, right?
Yeah, we
As
were up.
James Winston
Yeah.
said, just pain everywhere.
Pain
That
everywhere.
one- oh,
The one that, I mean, there's been a number for me, but the one that I remember as my first inclination that I had a problem, that I had a fandom problem, was 1991 Miami with the wide right one game.
Yep.
Because I had transferred into Florida State as a junior, so I did not. If I had gone right out of high school, I'd have been there in '88. But I transferred in as a junior, '91, and so the only thing I knew that season was winning. And
Yeah.
LSU, like the deluge, LSU going there and beating them there, and then losing. And I remember, walking out of the stadium. And I remember looking up in the stadium a long time after the crowds had gone, and there was David Plack and another friend of mine who was in Chiefs with me. So Dr. David Plack is sitting about 40 rows up with his head in his hands. And to me, Dave Plack was like the epitome of fandom. And he still is, by the way.
I was gonna say.
He still is. And I just thought to myself, wow, this really sucks. And I did not get out of bed all weekend. I literally did not get out of bed all weekend. So yes, I had a problem at the time. I don't have that kind of problem anymore. But back to what you were saying, Jeremy, all of my friends, all my relatives know that you do not invite Vince to a mixed game watching. Right, so I'm not going over to watch the UF Florida State game with family members that are Gators. I just don't do it. I can't do it. So it's either we're out and about and there are a lot of people around, but I appreciate the offer, but that's just not going to work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
But also, I say also is like back then, if you lost a game, you had to deal with it. Maybe read the newspaper, talk to some buddies, and that was it. Now with X and all these social media platforms,
Oh yeah, you can't get away.
and YouTube, it's so intensified now. So I'm so glad I went to football rehab.
Right. When we lose games nowadays, which we've lost a lot recently, just stay off social media. It doesn't do you any good.
No.
Just don't do it. Fatal Jedi 2672, welcome to the show. What's up, guys, and go Noles? We've got William McMillan here. McMillian, who says go Noles beat Bama. Agreed. And he also wants to know, he heard that we lost a commit today.
Yeah.
And that is accurate. That is accurate.
He was locked
what's
in
the guy's name?
3 weeks ago.
Nickname was
Carrington.
Tank.
Carrington.
Yeah, he shut it down 3 weeks ago. He was 100% in, and now he's not. So
That's sounds like my diet.
that's right. You're in like
Yeah.
Flynn all the way. I'm all about it. Wait a minute, is that a pizza?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man, but
Let's talk about the AP poll.
Yeah, bring it up. Do you have a copy of it, Vince?
Well, I have a brief list to go through, right?
I have some thoughts.
You have some thoughts, but so we're going to get to the Florida State side of it, but let's kind of talk through the teams that are on there and maybe where they're slated and kind of what you're thinking about it. So first on the list is Texas. Jeremy, what do you think about Texas?
There's very few teams in the country that have the size on the line like them. O-line, D-line. Crazy amount of hype for Arch Manning. Crazy. I was at the Texas Clemson game last year, and he came in for like one play, and he got a standing ovation.
Yeah.
But I think they're solid. They're coached well. They learned the hard way last year. But man, what a tough opener they have.
They do.
Yeah.
Ryan, what do you think?
I think that it's risky. I guess there is no risk for the AP voters, but
No.
for me, it's I would be hesitant if I was ranking it to put them at number one because of the quarterback question. There's a lot of talent there, and there's a lot of known commodities on the team as a whole. But at the most important position, you have not seen enough active starting time from Manning. It's all based upon, well, he's got to be good because look at the lineage and
Yeah.
the height. And so I would not have put them at number one. I think they're a top 5 team talent collectively, but I would not have put them number one. Very interesting. If you're asking me today, I say that they lose by 10 or more to Ohio State just based on
Ooh.
I know more about Ohio State, and I feel like Arch Manning, I could see him being really good by 3, 4, 5 games
Sure.
in,
It's a
but it's
tough
a
opener,
lot
man.
to ask of that first game.
But
Yeah.
to your point, Ohio State's quarterback has never taken a snap in a game.
Yep, that's right.
Sure. But
I understand they're at home, but at least Arch
yeah, that's
has been in the system there for 2 years. He's been groomed by Quinn Ewers and Sark. He knows
I
his
mean,
role.
the odds are that he's going to be good, right? The odds are that he's going to be good.
I like the home matchup though.
But is he going to be what everybody thinks he's going to be? Because I think that
He better be.
He better be, right? But Archmania,
money.
right? The other thing that's going to be tricky for Texas is their schedule isn't terrible, but they've got, I believe, 6 road games in a row or something like that.
I mean, they go to Georgia, they go to Florida, and they go to Ohio State.
Right. So it's, it's not so much, the schedule's difficult, yes, but it's made more difficult because of the way they line up. So, so anyway, moving on. Penn State is
Fraud
number
alert.
2. Fraud alert. Yeah. Penn State's number 2. Veteran QB there.
Yeah.
Right. And their line is good. But, our friend Jeff Cameron always talks about, what does he call it? The tent of suspicion.
Yeah, for sure.
James Franklin.
Yeah. And so, I'll borrow that for tonight. I love Penn State. I love Penn State because it had my family not moved to Florida, because we're from the New Jersey, Pennsylvania area, that's probably where I would have ended up going to school. And so
Yeah.
I've had a soft spot in my heart for them forever. I've had a lot of family members that went there and some that are still going there. So I kind of hope they break through the ceiling, but until they do it, I don't know.
Yeah. I think they feel the same as Miami to me, where it's like Miami had the number 1 quarterback draft in the country last year and
Yeah.
did a whole lot of nothing with them.
They did a whole lot of jack squat.
I just think until a team proves,
Sorry, Riz P.
yeah, until a team proves that over the years the same thing that keeps repeating and they finally break it, very much like a Texas A&M hype machine for a while there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Very similar. Every year it was like, oh, number 1 class. Oh, even Jimbo, non-Jimbo, Johnny, even with Johnny football, it was like, man, here it is. Here comes the big run, and it just is always like a solid 9-3 golf clap year. That's what this screams to me.
Yeah, probably right. What do you think, Jeremy?
No, I think Penn State, honestly, you could tell ESPN controls these polls because they did not want Fox to have 1 versus 2 to start the year.
Well, they got it anyways with the coaches poll.
Well, that's true, but it's
Yeah.
going to be 1-3 in that game, in the one that we're talking about now, which to me, preseason polls mean absolutely nothing. Talk to me 5-6 weeks into the season.
Yeah,
This is
you're
just
right.
in my opinion. But I think
we should have started it with that, which like this poll means absolutely nothing.
correct.
Keep going.
It's fun.
No, but Drew Aller is the reason they're number 2, in my opinion. It's
Yeah.
because of the quarterback situation at Ohio State, and they lost 2 stud running backs. So they have a few unknowns, and on defense as well. They lost the heart and soul of their defense, Jack Sawyer. But that's why I think it's Drew Aller. He's the reason they're number 2. But if you're Ohio State, you're loving it because you host both the teams in front of you.
Yeah, that's great. And you don't really need anything to motivate your guys, but
Yeah.
you could show this nonsense poll to them and say, look, Penn State's ahead of you. What are you going to do about it?
Yep.
Ohio State is
me,
next in the poll.
To me, Vince, with the next two teams would be my top two teams. But
Yeah, probably right.
I would actually put Clemson 1, Ohio State 2. Just if I was ranking it, in Georgia 3. I think this feels like the year that Clemson would be back and right back to kind of where they left off for many, many years, and last year being the start of that again. I like their team. In this era, listen, no one's less of a Dabo fan personality wise than me. It's not my cup of tea. Some people love him. However, it's indisputable how many people he's been able to hold on to on that team and not losing to the transfer portal, and how many people he's been able to have commit and develop. Imagine that. We would kill right now, not for necessarily the personality of Debo, but we would kill for the recruiting and development of the Clemson. Ability.
Yeah. Hey, man, I will knock his goofiness all day long, but you can't knock the result, right? So...
you got to give him credit. He turned around Klubnik. We thought second year with Klubnik, he was going to be a bust. He was a diva. He was all this. He got his act together and is now a top 3 quarterback in the country.
Yeah. Think about that first game. Clemson, LSU, Klubnik, Nussmeier. That's going to be one hell of a game.
Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, I think Clemson's the underdog right now.
Oh, I don't know.
You have to think that Brian Kelly, if he loses that game, there's the noises are going to get louder because, you lose to all those games to FSU.
USC. He's never won an opener in his time.
And it starts to become a thing, and you don't want to be a thing, right? You don't want to be a coach with a thing. You don't want to be Penn State.
The dancing coach?
When it comes to the big games. You don't want to make it, you have a thing now. Right. And it really is. It feels like Brian Kelly just is incapable of performing well in big opening games.
Yeah, sure.
And I'm taking Clemson all day in that game.
Okay.
Welcome,
I have a hard time arguing with you there. But he has come out publicly and said, we have to win this opener, and we have to.
But doesn't that set you up for failure? Because it's you don't. It's not even a. Of course, it's not even a conference game.
Well, because the reason why he's saying that because he feels the heat of these opening games that they have pretty much crapped the bed in. We can look at the 2 years in a row where Florida State beat them. And the first year, it was a surprise to us, wasn't it, Ryan, that we won that game? And the second year, not so much.
Full of drinks.
Not so much. But, he starts feeling the heat about, you can't win the opening game. Now, to their credit, they're not playing a bunch of nobodies in their opening game.
Yeah.
So you got to be buttoned up. But, yeah, for him to, he's basically trying to manifest a win so he can get that monkey off of his back. Chris Frazier is here from Sporadics Media. Welcome, Chris. He's got a thought here. Now that we have the 12-team playoff, the only rank that matters is who gets in at 12, and no one cares where they are ranked as long as they are top 12. I agree with that. I was just pointing out that
getting the bye in the playoff is important.
The bye is important, but it's in terms of when you're in Ohio State and you're kind of hitting on all cylinders right now, I think as a coach, you're just trying to find anything to keep that edge. And if it's showing a ridiculous list of teams where one of your rivals is ahead of you is part of that deal, then it is. Friends call me Sean is not wrong in this comment. Preseason polls matter. It's all about building up SEC strength of schedules. Yes, this is what we've been saying. A lot of people have been saying, not just us, is that it's all about the self-fulfilling. I have another term I'm not going to use on this show because it's a family-friendly show.
It just means more, Vince.
It just means more. And that's how all of a sudden they end up playing all these ranked teams. Well, go figure.
Absolutely correct.
The last team I want to, because I don't want to get too far deep in it, but one team I want to.
Yeah, I was going to say, we don't have to go through every team, but I hit,
two teams
we hit the top
I want
five.
to talk about. Two. the suspicious eyes are on Alabama because you're just used to opening up the poll every year, preseason poll, and seeing, well, number one, number two, number three, Alabama. There they are again, and so clearly, there's some suspicious eyes upon Alabama. So we'll see. And then the final one is another top 10 Miami team. I can't wait to see how this ends.
Goodness.
Still, by the way, I know you guys have been liking it. People tagging at Grok whenever Miami fans are talking about anything. It's so fun and it's so easy, especially when Miami fans self-own themselves and ask at Grok, why do people keep talking about this? And it says, well, because you have never done anything in the ACC. I love it.
It is funny to watch that happen. And as far as Miami's concerned, they've got talent, but it's the coaching that's suspect, and we keep going back to that. And then, as far as Bama's concerned, they also have the talent, but I don't think, the odds makers, the people that are, making these polls have bought into DeBoer being able to make that talent do what it needs to do.
I have a question for you, Jeremy. Is Carson Beck a bust this year as far as the expectations for him?
I don't think so.
You think
I'm not saying he's going to. Yeah, I'm not saying he's going to be the number one pick like his OC said today. Mm-hmm. But I think he's going to do well there. Yeah, I do. He's got weapons. It's not like, obviously he came from Georgia, so he's used to that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think he'll do fine. A 6-year senior with experience like he has,
he'll know how to take a knee.
He'll know how to take a knee and audible out of that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, people are enjoying making fun of the kid, but I think he's going to do well at Miami. Unfortunately,
I'm rooting for him because he's a local kid here, but I'm not rooting for the team, if that makes sense. So
100%.
But is Carson Beck better than Cam Ward? Absolutely not. So
no,
not by if Miami wins what they won last year, which is nothing, and you give them a slight downgrade in quarterback and the same coaching staff, I think we're in the same.
Well, they got a new DC who I think is going to turn things around there.
I think the main thing is the head guy, though.
Oh yeah, he's good for a game or two a year. That you go, what did you think?
What in the world are you doing here?
Who does Miami play first game?
Notre Dame.
I can't wait for that one because
isn't that game on Sunday?
Yeah.
Notre Dame is
still figuring out their quarterbacks. So
Notre Dame is actually one of my dark horse picks for the national championship this year. Believe it or not.
Not when you have to struggle at the quarterback position, in my opinion. I'm not trying to go opposite, but man, those guys play hard for Marcus Freeman.
Yeah,
they do.
That's what my point is. Yeah,
man.
They need that extra piece to play above where it needs to, where they have had it playing, and they've got a shot. I think they have a shot. They definitely have a shot to beat Miami.
Yeah. Vince, I know you're going to talk about it, but Florida State receiving votes.
Yeah. So that was kind of like. Do you want to talk about Florida or not?
So Florida, clearly,
before we get to Florida,
convinced.
No.
What's that?
Florida.
University of Florida.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, first of all, Lagway, uber talented. Lagway never on the field. So, you can have all that talent, but the best ability is availability, as the coaches say. So we'll see what happens there. But both Miami and Florida and Clemson and all these other schools are ranked ahead of our Noles, who also received some votes.
Were you surprised?
I think I was surprised. I was surprised.
How are you not? 0-2?
Man, I wouldn't have given them any votes.
No.
And I'm a fan.
You have to think that it's just because the media says, okay, we have no idea what this team is, and they've done it before where they've brought in all these portal guys, and sometimes it hits, and sometimes it crashes and burns. So a few people out there saying, maybe they'll hit again.
Yeah.
Well, it was two people who did the voting, right, for us? And one was
Yeah,
like California. For all you know, he didn't
Yeah.
watch this last year. And Florida State, they've been good in the past.
I mean, there might be some validity to that mindset, though, because we are so deep in it that we are 2-10. Woe is me. But maybe there's some people on the outside that look at this roster, and even though it's not the talent level that we need it to be at, it's way more talented than 2-10.
Sure.
Right. So that's probably what they're looking at, and
Yeah.
you look at the coordinators that we brought in that have been successful in areas that we've been deficient at, everywhere they've been. So I can see where they could make that decision. I just don't know that I would have made that decision.
You
It's
know
a
too
bold
much.
move.
It is a bold move.
You know what I see, Vince, when I look at Florida State? I see what seemingly is a 35-year-old NFL veteran, Usman Kroma, when I see him on camera. And you know how some guys just read different when you see them, and you're like, oh, that's a grown man.
Yeah.
There are certain players, a lot of times in the NBA, when college basketball season comes around, and you're like, I remember this Lamar Odom, where he's like, he's 40 and he's 17, kind of thing.
Right.
Why is somebody's uncle on the court?
When I saw
That's what I'm
DeMarcus
thinking
Cousins,
about Kroma. He looks right now like he could play in the NFL today and start for an NFL franchise, just the way he looks and is built. He is a freak of nature. And guys, first topic I wanted to bring up, and I actually want to start the show with this, but because I cannot contain. Are you guys getting the feeling like he could be a generational? I mean,
Well, did you watch the interview? Did you watch the interview with him?
impressive.
Jeremy, did you watch it?
Yeah, I did. Impressive.
He's very self-aware, like mature, beyond what you would expect. And either that's him, because I don't know him, either that's the way he is and the way he's always been, or he's got some great mentorship going on around him. And because of that, you couple that with the talent, like the generational talent, then I would say yes, Ryan. I think he could be. What do you think, Jeremy?
Yeah.
I mean, not to bore you guys, but I was in New Orleans for the Georgia Notre Dame game, and I'm wearing my FSU hat, and these Georgia fans, they said hi to me. They were nice, and they said to me, you got that running back from us. And I said, we were 2-10. Like, give us a break. Give us somebody. And they're like, have you seen him play? I'm like, yeah, I've seen some highlights. They're like, you don't realize how good he is. Like, we're upset. He could play for us tomorrow. Like, they were saying that. And then I was like, okay, calm down. But I don't know. He has that it factor. That I went into the year saying, give him 8 snaps in the first game, 10 at the most. Now I'm like,
Start.
don't limit the kid. Like,
I mean, I don't put him in there for the first snap, but just
right.
what I'm seeing,
you kind of work him in,
because I like a guy that just wants to punch someone in the face when he's running the ball and throw people to the ground and has the body and the size. I think that kind of guy, you throw out there and just let him go wild if he's that talented. I'm not saying he is going to be this, but you wouldn't be like, nah, you know what? Let's ease Barry Sanders into this thing. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying he's going to be Barry Sanders, but if you do recognize as a coach, which I'm sure all these guys, Gus Malzahn certainly has had talented guys that he's coached, Mike Norvell to a point, but if you see guys on your practicing, and you recognize them as a potential, like what is my eyes are telling me is that they could be something incredibly special. I don't think you put any boundaries on them getting in the game and getting meaningful snaps immediately. And that's what frustrated me for so long when we did have like Jimbo and everything, and you hear wide receivers, not hitting the, that ended up being incredible. You're like, you can't tell me that they weren't going to be at least pretty good last year if they had played. I think I'm just getting the vibe and the gut feeling, that we're going to be standing up and like hugging each other after multiple touchdowns this year.
We should have named this show Ryan's Vibe, is what we should have named it.
I like that.
So two things on that is that before we've gotten these these reports about him and these clips of him and seeing the interview of him, I was always of the opinion that, you know, learn the playbook, right? And that's the thing that typically keeps a talented running back that's young out of out of the lineup. But he seems to be kosher with that. And so the other thing that I was going to say is, Ryan, I don't look at him as kind of like an angry runner. It's more like a joyful. He seems joyful. Like I love playing football.
He likes to hit.
I'm going to throw you down, but it's all part of the game and it's fun. I don't see it as kind of like, you know, I've got an axe to grind. I don't see him that way. We get a super chat here. We got to pull up. Captain John Black, FSU 3120 over Alabama. How about this? Castellanos passes for 275, runs for 80. Edwin Joseph, 1 interception, 2 fumbles caused. Ooh, this is very specific. Are we going to have prop bets on this stuff? FSU shows revived energy. O-line dominates. Experience there. This will closely resemble the 2013 FSU game. Wow. Man, wouldn't that be?
If that happens, I'm gonna give you a big old. I'm gonna find you. Who is this? Do you know this person?
Yeah, it's Captain John Black.
No, I'm joking. I'm gonna head to the pier.
Yeah,
and I'm gonna kiss him.
Listen,
I don't care.
I don't blame you.
Yeah. John, if that happens, we're gonna charter a Garnet Old party on the boat, and we are going to do it up big. We're gonna do it big.
If we're gonna do it, then
we're gonna do it big.
I want to screenshot that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So one thing I will, and the reason why I'm feeling this way, and this is how I clarify it. Coaches with freshmen are not ones to generally over embellish, like give them the flowers and then more flowers and then more flowers. They usually like to do a little bit of challenging and, you know, hey, pump the brakes on expectations. Yeah, we're excited they're here. We think they're going to be a fantastic player for us in the future. But every single coach, and Vince brought this up last week, when the name is mentioned or they say the name, their face changes from like just a interview to like, oh yeah, it would be the feeling I would get if I saw Jameis Winston practicing pre-2013 and someone asked me like, how's this new guy Jameis? And if I was Jimbo, I'd be like, yeah, he got some things to learn, but we're excited with his development. You know, the tenor changes. I think they think that he's going to be a special player right now, like today.
Speaking of special players, Chris thinks TC, if he has the year he thinks he's going to have, he's going to be in New York.
Chris, man, my man,
I love it. I love it.
This is the time of year where people get into talking too much. It's like towards the end of camp, and Chris knows what he's talking about. I mean, he does.
He does.
He knows what he's talking about. He'll give you 15 good reasons why.
Chris, in the chat though, Chris, I want you to comment. Wouldn't that require, and it could, 1,000 yards rushing on the year for Castellanos and 10 to 15 touchdowns on the ground, and then probably a 1,500 to 2,000 passing yards and 18 or 20 touchdowns with maybe 8 interceptions or something like. It would have to be something like that.
It would be, it would be something like that. And
RG3.
The only way that that's going to happen is if all these pieces, like John Black said, that are going to fit together, because the puzzle, right? The imported pieces that we have fit the puzzle, which highly is dependent on the offensive line, right? So, and we're getting decent information about them being, I don't want to say, worlds better than last year, but it's hard to not be better than last year, but, noticeably more together, a lot of experience, and, going back to the coaching, they know how to run the damn ball. They know how to make it work. So
the only thing I hesitate to, on that point, Vince, to agree with you on the second part, the know-how. Mike Norvell's offense scored 40 points a game every year since he was at Memphis until it didn't. And so I do agree that the offensive line will be better, because how could you not? But I'm continually reminding myself to, hey, hold on until you see it on, hey, Gus and Herb Hand equals. They've always been able to do it because up until last year, Mike's offenses have always been able to put up points, and it's not like my man just forgot how to, like, woke up and was like, nah, I don't know how to do it anymore. It's all about, like, our captain, local captain. I'm gonna call him Captain D, but I keep wanting to say that. But Captain Crunch, it's all about the fit. Now, do I think the fit is much better this year than last year? Of course, I hope it is because it needs to be. Because if not, Mike's not gonna have a job at the end of this year. So, again, all great coordinators, coaches are amazing at offense until the year that it doesn't work, and then people are like, "Oh, you got to hire an new offensive coordinator." You know, it's happened so many times. I've seen other schools. I can't say for sure that just because it's Gus and Herb Hand, it's going to be no problem running the ball.
I completely agree. I think I've noticed this every year. This is the time of year around camp where fans are so excited for football. We start to say some things that we say 3 weeks into the year. What were we thinking? If our defensive depth is the problem that we think it could be, and I'm not saying it will be, but it could be. I hate to see Mike be put in a position where he's got more pressure on his offense. I know Gus is running the offense, but remember, now we're hearing about the receivers that after Robinson, Squirrel, and Boggs, there's a lot of uncertainty there. Now I know
Elijah Moore, step up, man. Come on.
Yeah. I mean, we don't know the way McCoy's health, but
Breeze. Hola, Breeze. Welcome to the show.
I could use a breeze in Florida right now.
We could use any kind of breeze would be nice.
30th.
Chris is calling it here.
Yeah.
800 rushing, 2,700 passing.
I don't see that getting to New York.
No, but would you take that?
Yeah, for
Oh,
sure.
heck yeah, you would take that.
By the
If
way,
it
I'm
gets
going
him
to
to New
call
York,
out
it's
the breeze. I'm going to
regardless.
go with the breeze thing again. Shame on Jeff Cameron for calling anything football wins last week. And he was adamant that he felt it. Get out of here with that nonsense.
No,
you felt a cooler than record setting
For
summer
5
breeze. Come on, man.
He's mistaken.
Too many gummies, Jeff. I think you've received them by now. Yeah.
That's right. Let's talk briefly about the blow up. We talked about the build up, the culture build up, and the build up to the season. Let's talk about the blow up. How do you guys look at this altercation between Conrad Hussey and one of the coaches? Who wants to go first?
You first, Jeremy.
If you don't think this stuff has happened in the past, you're crazy. I know plenty of stories where it's happened. Guys have stayed on the team, kicked off. It happens. It's just because of social media and the internet, it got blown up. He's off the team now, so I don't care. But I knew plenty of stories of players and coaches having to be separated, especially this time of year where it's hot and you're sick of seeing each other every day and you just want to hit somebody on another team. And
I'm sure the coaches that fought. We had that too long ago. We had coaches that were fighting each other.
That's true. I know exactly what you're talking about, Vince. So, it didn't bother me at all. I didn't care, and he's off the team. And he wasn't expected to be a contributor this year.
Probably why he was frustrated.
Could be, but if he was expected to do that, and then he's kicked off the team for this, then we're having a different conversation.
Yeah, I can confirm what you're saying, Jeremy, about other incidents. I know specifics, but I'm not going to say them because I have an FSU employee that worked in case management as the head of case management for several years, and he's no longer there, so he probably wouldn't care at this point, but just in case. He told me specific players that he was like, if you knew either what they did on the field or off the field, that you'd be shocked that they weren't kicked off based on the seriousness of things that went down. So, yeah, these kind of things happen across college campuses at every school. The difference is if Conrad Hussey was elite and was going to be a counted-on starter this year, he would still be on the team. Hate to break it to you all, no matter who he fought. I really believe that if he was I'm talking like a Jalen Ramsey, top top guy on the team. Like if he was that good, you're going to still be on the team, even if unless you like hurt someone, right, in the practice. But in these kind of situations, what it feels like to me, especially based on Mike's comment, I get the feeling that if it was last year's coaches, that in this exact situation, Hussey's still here because Mike seems to have like you know how people would have issues with people having soft spots for players. Like, hey, you know, that's someone's kid. Jimbo would do it all the time. That's a kid. That's someone's kid. I'm here to, you know, be there. I'm here to be a part of their life and help them grow. I feel like that's Mike's general personality is to forgive and try to mend and try to. This feels to me like Tony White saying, I'm kicking him off the team. And it was probably one of those things when he was offered the defensive coordinator job. Mike and him have an agreement that if he wants to make a change on the defensive, you know, I don't think Mike by himself makes this decision without another coach heavily saying, no, I really want to do this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Get him off the team.
So Tony has say.
Yeah.
Mike makes the final call.
Yep.
Because that's if you don't run like that. If you're Mike and you don't run your team like that, what are you doing? Mike brought back a lot of guys last year that had no business coming back.
It's like me and Vince. This would be like me and Vince. Vince, someone we know is really terrible and lackluster, and I would be like, Vince, this guy sucks. We gotta get him fired. And you'd be like, well, hold on, Ryan. Like, maybe we should talk to him and find out is there something else going on? Is there something? These are the conversations that it would happen like between me and Vince about someone. So I can imagine similar conversations happening in the coaching staff.
And we're not there. We don't know if this kid already had a strike or two against him for other stuff. We just don't know.
Or how serious the dust up was.
Or how serious the dust up was. We don't know any of that. For all you know, that kid was on you screw up again, you're out of here.
That's right. You don't know anything about what led up to this. You have no idea. So, you know, the fight could have been the last straw. He could have already been on thin ice for whatever reason. But I will say that, you know, if that's the case, then to me, it wouldn't even matter how talented he was. If he was already on a trajectory of, you know, this is the last strike kind of deal, because the last thing Mike Norvell needs is a culture problem in that locker room. And you have to sacrifice the one for the many. You just have to do it. Otherwise, you're going to have what you had last season.
Yeah.
I kind of liken it to one of my favorite episodes of The Office, where Stanley yells out, "Did I stutter?" And Michael Scott doesn't want to deal with it. He's trying to look for any reason to not have to discipline him. But in the end, you got to get the point across that it just can't happen. It cannot happen. And so that's, you know, like I said, we don't know all the stuff that led up to it. But ultimately, he's no longer on the team. And it is unfortunate that is the case, but that is the case, and we're going to move forward without him.
But if there's one position where it's not a huge deal, in my opinion, I'm not sweating losing Conrad Hussey off the roster.
If he's third year in the program, he's running third team. Obviously it was not. I didn't care. We were 2-10 last year. If a kid gets bounced for being a head case going into the following year, am I supposed to get upset? Especially in the year of the portal now, where he's free to go anywhere he wants and he has nothing holding him back. In the 90s, if he got kicked off a team, that was bad because it was really hard to get back.
You had to do like cocaine on the back of a hooker and like beat someone up.
Well, yeah, but what I mean is to get back on another Division I team, it was you had to go through so much. You had to go to JUCO and then get back into it. Now tomorrow he can go elsewhere.
He probably will.
Yeah, he will.
Yeah, I mean, I hope the best for the kid, right? And it's easy for us to say violence is not the answer, right?
Yeah, and also, listen, the high school he came from, you want to keep good relations there.
You do, and that's why I'm saying I don't think this is a snap decision. You know, there's no way that there's some other. I don't know what those other things are, but you don't just one and done somebody unless there's something egregious about it.
Like Jaylen Brown,
right?
Jaylen Brown has no choice.
Let's do some predictions, Ryan.
1 second.
You ready?
I'm off camera first. I'm just fixing something in my eye drops.
This is for everybody in the chat, by the way. We already got people responding to the poll. But if you want to go to Slido.com and put in that code, or if you want to QR code it, we're going to get some predictions here.
The Slido poll.
The Slido poll. And at the end, the very last question on the end is actually you can put your handle in or you can put your name in to see, to kind of put your stamp on it. Just say, hey, I'm going to own this prediction. So right now we've got 100% people. I think I should probably do this too. Let me do this too, actually. Let me pull my phone.
Oh yeah, should I?
Yeah,
fill it
absolutely.
out live?
Let's all do it. I know, Jeremy, you're not going to do this.
Yeah, I get when it comes to Fuller. I've made
You
him
feel like you're jinxing it. So
I do. When it comes to us, I'm like that. Any other game, I'll make predictions on. So, but I love to see what other people think.
I'm getting it right
let's
now.
see.
Vince. The Slido poll.
The Slido poll.
We should
I'm
do
just
this
gonna
every
click-
week for different things, you know?
I'm just going to click through these one at a time, and then I'm going to submit at the end, and then we'll go through all these to see how that's going to work out.
So one interesting thing, and we're going to give our takes on this. I've changed up quite a bit in my predictions from we last did a wins and losses like in spring, so a lot's changed since then, and my picks have drastically changed since then. So I'm going to put my name to it.
Yeah, me too.
All right.
Put my name
so
to
Vince,
it too,
I'm gonna
because I'm
start
going
off.
to own it.
You're going to be surprised, Vince. I am picking in a narrow victory, a harrowing victory, Florida State to beat Alabama and to net me $650 based on zero money bet because I had free tokens on a gambling site not to be named. So
Okay.
Florida State wins in a very, very tight, closely, I would say 24-21, Florida State.
Yeah, so I am picking Bama in this game, in a close game, but I am picking Bama. I will be happy to be wrong about that. Let's see.
Win.
We got wins from everybody here. So up here at the top right, you can see how many people have voted, right? So there were 4 people voting. So I don't necessarily say that we have a mandate here,
We have a mandate.
but we do have a mandate. Kent State. Okay, that's a pretty easy one, right? UVA. Well, okay, here we go. So now we're looking good here. See what we got in the Miami realm.
I am predicting Florida State's first
predicting
loss
this is.
to be Miami.
I thought for sure this was our buddy Riz P here.
No, that's me. That is me picking us to lose to the Canes. Coming in, guys, all the hype in the world. Both teams undefeated. Florida State riding high after their Week 1 win against Alabama.
In the chat
And
camera.
Florida State loses in a very tight game to Miami.
Will College Game Day be there?
No.
Okay.
They'll be in an SEC or Big Ten matchup.
There you
I
go.
think we've got Riz P that's voting right now. So we should see this Miami number go up a little bit here in a moment once he's done. So I'm going to hold out here for 1 second.
We have 5. There you go. That must be it. There it
Okay,
is.
Miami by 50 is what he's saying. So, yeah, there you go. I love that kind of confidence, by the way.
Yeah.
All right, so let's move on.
Yeah. Easy win.
Yeah, it's going to be. I'm pretty confident in this one.
Win.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
homecoming. This is homecoming, by the way.
Yep. Another loss for Florida State. The second of the year comes at Clemson, which Vince, based on I'll tell the people more about it in a future episode. Based on my future location, there may be a trip to Death Valley.
Oh yeah, we can talk about that briefly.
Me too, Ryan.
Maybe we can meet up if we both go.
That would be lovely.
So one thing I love about the viewership here is that we don't have a lot of pie in the sky. We have some pretty level-headed folks here. And, we've got nobody picking the Noles here, and this is predominantly a Noles group, right? We got a Miami fan here for sure, but all right, moving on.
Someone
Okay,
picked Va Tech. I pick FSU.
Ooh, somebody's picking Virginia Tech here.
Nasty.
It's a home game, people.
The defense better be ready in that game.
Because Drones is good.
Yeah.
Drones
That
can
checks
be
out.
good.
That number for
I think
FSU bias is checks out that someone thinks that Virginia Tech could win. I would not be shocked.
I would amend, Jeremy, that drones can be good. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see.
NC State.
Florida State wins.
Somebody picked the Lords of the Piss
Palace
Palace to win this game.
NC State's one of those teams I can't wait till we never have to play again.
Yeah, it's been an interesting dynamic between the two schools, and my visits to that stadium were not without incident. So I'll be happy to be done with that too.
Yeah.
NC State plays East Carolina first game of the season, I think, and East Carolina usually gives them a pretty good game. Ooh.
FSU loses their third game of the season. Wow. Florida State loses to UF. So my 3 losses are Miami, Clemson, and Florida, which we're all mad about because they're all rivalries. But we go back and say it's a 9-win season. We beat Alabama, and because of how crappy the ACC is, we're headed to Charlotte, baby, for a rematch against Clemson.
Yeah. Hey, man, I picked us to beat Miami, but to lose this game, and that is a lot to do with location.
I was going to say DJ. I'm a big believer. I think DJ Lagway. I would this year, if I'm re-ranking all of the Florida teams, not named Florida State, I would actually have ranked Florida above Miami, just because at the quarterback position, which I know you said health. Yeah, of course, that's for every team though. I do think DJ Lagway is a difference maker, and I see him as a potential superstar and Heisman finalist. And it's going to be hard to get him on the ground. I mean, that guy can run. I think Florida, unfortunately for us Nole fans, could be a major playoff contender this year, in my opinion.
Could be.
Yeah.
Until I see playoff contention, I will not believe it about that coaching staff. And but I do see a high possibility of Florida State losing this game. Yeah. So I have them at 9-3 as well, Ryan. I have them losing to Bama, Clemson, and Florida.
So we have similar thoughts. I just think we'll lose to our rivals and beat Alabama in the. Now listen, Vince, what would you rather? Lose to the teams that you said we lose to as a set, or lose to the teams that I said? Because mine has the benefit of, hey, we can tell those SEC fans, you can suck it, we beat Alabama. And on your side, hey, man, we beat Miami and Clemson.
Yeah, I mean, there's always a benefit to beating your rivals. And, if you were going to say, hey, would you rather beat Bama and lose to Virginia Tech? Yes, I would. So
this didn't work out here on the screen.
Even if it prevents you from going to Charlotte?
See, it's tough to know that in this instance because we don't know where we are.
Right, but a conference loss
that mode
hits a lot harder than an out-of-conference loss.
If that's the swap, that means we've lost 2 ACC games, right? So there would be a chance, I guess, of losing, of not getting to Charlotte.
So here's Vince. I have a question for you. What's the number one game outside of the losses you predicted that it would be a loss that on paper you would say we'd win that game, but that you're worried about? For me, it's Virginia. First conference game.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Well, I mean, for me on the road, it's Virginia for sure. At home,
Yeah.
I'm telling you that Pittsburgh game is one that I hate to use the word trap because we were 2-10 last year, but that's one of those teams always that if you don't come ready,
Man, if you
our
don't beat
Jersey team will
Virginia, come on, man.
our Jersey
Hey,
team will punch you in the mouth.
Jeremy, I have a question for you. This is important because I already gave my prediction on this in spring. I said if Mike Norvell, hypothetically, is 7-5 or worse, he will be fired. Vince disagreed adamantly and said 7-5 he would not be fired. What would be your take at 7-5? Put the losses wherever you want. 7-5 is 7-5 at Florida State after 2-10. Does Mike Norvell keep his job at 7-5?
Okay, I think he should be fired, but
do, yeah.
I don't think he will be. I
Okay,
think
man.
I know it's a terrible answer, but we're going to go into another off season of uncertainty. 7-5 is like almost the worst thing you could ask for.
7-5 is like that kissing your sister moment, right, Brian, which you're very familiar with, right? So
Only on weekends.
sorry.
He is getting ready for Alabama.
It's like 6-6. You're like, yeah, absolutely, right?
Yes.
But you're like 8-4. Okay, no, we're definitely on the trend. 7-5 is kind of in that area where it's like, man, what do you do? But I don't think they are going to make a move at 7-5 or higher.
That gets you into the next season. That sends you into the next season feeling like we did headed into Willie's second season.
100%.
Yep. Where it was only a matter of time.
Yeah.
For those of you that are going to be watching this show after the live, I'm going to keep the poll open till Friday evening. And so you can contribute
next week's show. No, leave it open till next
for the whole
show.
week.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll leave it open for the whole week, and then we'll show the results. And we'll have those results saved because then at the end of the season we can look back, and if you put your name on it, we'll be able to either, celebrate you as being a wizard, or make brutal fun of you for not having any idea how football works. So that's the beauty of putting your name on something.
I just want to mention that this fall, this camp, and what we've seen out of the players and hearing from the coaches has swung me, Vince, 2 whole games from my spring prediction where I was in the doldrums because I hadn't gotten eyes on any of these guys. I hadn't gotten to know any of them. I hadn't seen them in any way, shape, or form. I haven't heard from the assistant coaches. It was just because we made that prediction, by the way, Jeremy, before the spring really got started, right before spring practice kicked off. So we were coming fresh off 2-10. We suck. We didn't get anyone that we wanted. It was just a nightmare. So I would say my 9-win prediction, Vince, is 99.9% based on Chroma alone. No, I am putting my stamp on it that he will be the ACC Rookie of the Year. That's how confident I am in this.
So let me ask you a question then. Do you, with the way your head is, next year at this time is Mike Norvell the head coach of Florida State?
Yes.
Okay. I know your answer.
I think their worst record based on how I'm feeling today. Before I said their worst was 4 wins potentially when I made the prediction in spring, and the best case scenario was 8 wins. I would say their worst is 7-6, and their best is 10-2.
I think the ceiling is 9 wins. I couldn't see a 10 win. I just can't. I just think there's some games where we're just not going to play to our ability. And that always happens in football. This is the time of year where everybody is so focused on our roster versus your roster. We win, you lose. Where they forget in a game what might happen. Obviously, injuries we don't take into account because that's part of the game. But it's part of talking season where people start to get a little unrealistic. Not saying you guys are. That's why I'm not following.
No, I get it. 9-3 being a ceiling. By the way, I'll take that. I'll take that right now.
Yeah.
All things being equal, we always say if the team plays up to its potential, what can they be?
We don't even know what their potential is.
This team can be 10-2. They could be potential wise, but human nature, the dread, the bounces of a season,
Health.
health. It's
Turnover
not.
luck.
Yeah, it's not smart. It's not a good bet to bet on someone reaching their pinnacle.
It is the ACC though.
It is the ACC, but
It's not that bad.
But the
Guys,
losses.
Jim Phillips told me everything I need to know about the ACC.
Well,
this
I mean, I won out of this conference.
Hey, be careful. He's the chairman now, isn't he?
Yeah.
But yeah, and John, you're right. Depth is what will determine. Like, the wear and tear of a season. You may be able to go toe to toe with everybody on your schedule when you have the starters, but if you don't, then what? And unfortunately, we haven't recruited to the level that Florida State needs to recruit at to be, have that depth to make it through. So 9-3.
Right, that's something that I refuse to do this year. If we lose a game or two because we had some injuries and a backup just wasn't up to par, I'm holding that against Mike. I'm not going to lost Jimmy, so no, that's on you, Mike.
Last question for you, Jeremy.
Please.
Average. Keep in mind average. So you could think maybe he won't get this in the first game. Chroma over the season averages over 100 yards and 1 touchdown for the season on average. Keep in mind, Gus only usually. I mean, we're going to see what I do love about Gus is, by the way, you're going to see whoever's the 2 players on the running back rotation, whoever's hot, that's who's getting the ball like over and over and over. If you watch UCF last year, he beat that thing into the ground if he sees success. So if Chroma gets in and it's like positive net yards, he's not coming off the field until he's gassed. So what do you think? Averages 100 yards a game. I'm going to say yes. That's how confident.
One thing that nobody's talking about from that PC the other day is when he said, "Oh yeah, this offense is pretty much like what I ran in high school."
Yeah,
that made me feel good. I hate to put that kind of pressure on the kid.
I'm putting it
on. Not like a quarterback. It's not like a quarterback where it's like you don't want to start him too early because you can ruin them. Man, I'm not.
No, you get what you can when you can out of the running back.
I agree because I still remember I'm shaking my head out. Jimbo didn't play Dalvin sooner than he did.
Yeah, we talked about it last week.
Jeffrey Hill, by the way, not having it. We're freaking FSU. We don't settle for 8 wins, 9 or 10 wins. Then we can go out of this conference after this year, go into the Big Ten. We can give everyone the middle finger.
We're not going to be in the Big Ten next year. We're going to be in the Big Ten in 2027. Yeah.
It probably won't be next. No, it definitely won't be next year. But we're FSU. We don't settle for 8. Boy, I would have settled for 8 last year. We settled for 2.
About the Chroma question, I don't want to say it. I don't care. I don't need him to get 100. I just need him to help move the chain. And if he gets 80 and the other guys pitch in and get some more too, and we have some actual balance on offense, I'll be happy.
There is a chance, guys. There is a chance, and a better than 50-50 chance that this offense, with the running backs, the improved offensive line, and a quarterback that can move, there's a chance that this offense is going to be pretty good on the ground.
Yes,
if the receivers step up.
And I think the sneaky hidden gem of the year is what's the name? The tight end from UCF.
Conrad Hussey.
Oh, good one. That was Pittman.
I think we're going to love us some Pittman. I watched him last. I watched 3 UCF. I love watching local like USF and UCF games. So I saw 3 UCF games last year. That guy just gets touches, can knock people on their ass, and is pretty good at pass pro. I like him.
He's also scored a ton of touchdowns on all the simulation games that I've watched.
And Vince, don't rule out too when a coach brings a player with him. There's that love, and there'll be some. I'm drawing up this play for you.
Yeah, no, there's no doubt. There's no doubt.
And you know where to be because you know the offense.
You know the offense, and you want him to do that. You want him to get the ball to people that he trusts are going to be where they're supposed to be. So I have no problem with that.
Landon Thomas was that guy I thought going into the year. Watch out. Yeah. But we haven't heard much from him at a camp. So,
for those of you just joining the show, you're late. But that countdown on the bottom of your screen there is the countdown to kickoff. So we are 15 days away, and we
It
are
feels
getting
weird to
super
say.
excited. Yeah. Ryan, I texted you the other day while you were doing some housework.
Yeah, I
Asked
will
you what
not
your
be at the Bama game,
Seriously?
but no, hold on, let me explain. I will be at the next 2 home games. The reason I will not be at the Bama game is because the hotel prices are ass.
It's true.
One of the last
I'm
times we
talking
talked to you,
La
Ryan,
Quinta, $800 a night ain't
one of the
happening. The
last
guy I
times
was
we
going to stay
talked,
with, yeah,
you were supposed to get a travel trailer. What happened?
it didn't happen, Vince. The finances, you know what's happening right now.
Yeah.
We're taking ownership of a property and haven't fixed it up. But I will be at the next 2 games because hotels won't be. I'll stay in a hotel. Guys, I'm a guy, when I come into the Tallahassee for a game, I'm going to stay in a hotel because I want to go to sleep that night and I have to drive. I want to wake up nice and slow in the morning, get a free breakfast, and hit the road. I'm not paying $800 for the La Quinta Inn in Tallahassee. Ain't happening. And I don't know anyone in Tallahassee that's going to let me stay for free. So
Yeah. Well, I mean, here you go. Like this is
Platform for that.
this is the
But
platform for it.
I
Listen,
will be, Vince, live streaming myself on Garden Old, watching the game,
are you going to
you
do
won't be
a watch along?
a live watch along, where you won't obviously be able to see the TV because that's illegal, but my entire reaction, you'll have the camera centered on me, the highs, the lows, the F bombs,
Mostly
everything
lows,
will be
probably.
there. Yes. So I figure that's a good way, something new that we've never done on the channel that I hope people will enjoy.
No, we haven't, and I hope that we can get you to Bama instead. So
Yeah, let's
Breeze,
not rule that
yeah.
out, man.
Somebody in Tally, get Ryan a bed in your house. This is what I'm saying. And it's not just Ryan though, right? Ryan's married.
It's just me.
Oh, it is just gonna be you?
Kristen's working that weekend, so it's just
Okay.
me.
So it really is just Ryan. But we got to make this happen, everybody.
Give
There's
me a
no
spot in the
reason.
Champions Club, Chris. I see you in the chat. I know you were giving away Champions Club tickets.
He
on your
is giving
channel.
away some Champions Club. You could sleep in the Champions Club.
If you
This
can
is-
get me a bed in the Champions Club for free.
This is the make a wish for
Now,
Ryan.
talk about a morning commute to the game.
Now,
mean,
I do have one thing that'll make you smile, Vince. So I'm getting
Yeah.
a new. I'm trading in my where I'm moving and out in the woods and the sticks and the mud. I'm out in the woods. I'm trading in for a perfect match colored garnet Ford Ranger 4x4.
There you go. There you go.
I have always, and you guys will know this as Florida State fans, there's lots of red vehicles out there. It's never the right color. You'll be
Nope.
like, this one is lipstick red. This one is a little odd. This truck,
And you won't buy a red car because it's not the right color. Like it's just,
Correct.
if it's not the right color, I'm getting a black car, right?
So if you would, Vince, and you can, I want you on the camera, and it's for your reaction. Just type in 2025 Ford Ranger Ruby Red, and
All right,
tell
I'm gonna
me,
do it right now.
tell me that that's not the exact color.
Well, I'd have to put the hex code in to see. Okay, that is a beautiful, beautiful color.
That's as close to FSU garnet as you're going to get in a truck, and get my license plate cover, and maybe later on get some a custom job or decals on it, something like
You're
that.
going to get the
tailgate.
off-road package, right?
Yeah, 4x4. I'll have a 4x4.
Yeah.
But I want to get, like, I don't know if you ever seen it, like it etched where the back tailgate has like the Seminole head.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
So but I'm going to be rolling into Tallahassee, whatever games I go to, in a Florida State branded Garden Old truck.
Ryan's going full Duck Dynasty. He's going to start growing a beard.
Yep.
And you're going to have.
Let me tell you the
some
other
tractor
conundrum with the
pulls.
Alabama situation, Vince. The hotels are outrageous.
They
The
are.
drive's not bad. It is what it is. I have the same drive to Tallahassee. It's 40 minutes shorter, actually, where I'm going to be in Georgia than it is here. So no problem there. But also, I can get $700 for my tickets today if I wanted to.
Per?
No,
Or total?
like for $350 to $400 a ticket.
Yeah.
For not, I'm in section 120 if you're wondering, Jeremy. So in the end zone, which I like that view. I actually like it because you get to see kind of like the all 22 view.
Yeah.
I prefer
And
that.
when it comes at you, it's fun.
Yeah, first one to see a touchdown if
Yeah.
if the foot was down. That I love that feeling. Um, but so those two things combined. Now, if tomorrow someone said you can use my house, Ryan. Hey, if Jeff Cameron called me and said Big Papa East, come stay and watch the 100-incher at 100-inch TV at the old crib.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've hooked you up before, didn't they? Hook you up with a dinner reservation one time?
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, Jeff was on our show before, and I made a text to him letting him know I was graduating that weekend, and he said, "Congratulations." Text me back, very nice of him. And he said, "Where are you going to dinner?" And I told him I was going to
Taco Bell.
no. What's the restaurant way on the northeast side of town that he did ads for?
Bannerman.
Oh,
Yeah.
Horizons.
Horizons, right?
Horizons. Yeah.
But I was gonna have a big party, like a lot of people. And he said, "Give me 10 minutes." And all of a sudden, I got a call from Horizons, from the general manager, saying, "Jeff Cameron called us, and we're going to reserve a quarter of this whole quarter of the restaurant. It's a small restaurant. And we're going to decorate it for you. And on a Saturday night after graduation, where everyone and their mother would want to come to all these places." And I walked in, and they treated us like royalty. They had decorations on it. They had free dessert for us. Appetizers were already on the table. My man Jeff Cameron, very nice thing. He did not have to do that. I will never forget it.
Yeah, it was very nice.
Actually,
now
go
you
back.
just need him.
Actually, go back 25 years with Jeff.
I was. You'll like this, Jeremy. I was next door neighbors. He was right next to me in the apartment next to me in Villa San Marco with Tom. Me and Tom Lane went to school at the exact same time, and multiple times he was usually much drunker than me. My man loved to drink. In Villa San Marco, which it used to be called Villa San Marco, it's something else now. You would just walk around the small apartment complex with all the doors open on a Friday night before a game. And T. Lizzie was hanging out all the time. We had a 100-inch projector in our apartment because we had one rich friend. It's great to have random roommates when it has one person that has like a lot of money. And everyone would come in and watch the 100-inch projector. And I saw Tom on many occasions. Everyone was like close or buddies with him, but I shared many a shots with my man.
Hey Ryan,
Tom.
Nice.
Captain John Black is in 120 as well. He wants to know what row you're in, so you need to get back with him and let him
37 seats, 17 and 18, which are aisle seats. Do that intentionally because it will be the aisle next to the lower bowl of the Champions Club, and those seats are always half empty.
Isn't 120 the end zone, like where the Chiefs were?
Yes, but now in this direct center is Champions Club.
Oh, okay. Got
so the chairback seats are the black ones. The new ones are right, like to my left. So like I'm in the aisle.
So you're,
and then the next seat
are you
over.
in that section or you're not in that section?
I'm right next to it. So my aisle.
Okay.
To the left of me, if I look, is the first black seat in that section. And so my goal is, in random games of the season, when inevitably there's no one sitting in those seats, after halftime, I'll be moving over to those seats multiple times.
Cody Johnson, you are late, but we're glad you're here. Thank you for the shout out there. Thank you for loving the show. If you didn't already like and subscribe, please do that. Head on over to YouTube. It really gets the show out there for people that maybe have never heard of us. And we would like to...
Tomcat jumped in at the last second.
He did. What's up, gentlemen? We're about to shut it down here, Tomcat. Jeremy, thank you so much. Before we get out of here, tell everybody about your channel.
First off, thanks for having me on, guys. Really appreciate it. So I run a YouTube channel as well, kind of like these guys. I do some live streams here and there, but I do travel vlogs, and not just Florida State related. I've done cruises. I've done music concerts. Well, all concerts are music concerts. That sort of stuff. I got some cool plans for the college football season this year. I'm going to be in Tallahassee for the first game. I was banking on Ryan being there as well, so I'm a little heartbroken.
What hotel are you going to be staying at, and how much are you paying?
You had to cash in some Marriott points. Let's just say that.
Yeah, you saw the Marriott was
$2,500
a night.
I'm with you on the rates. It's ridiculous. One of my favorite tweets this year was the guy who put up the post of what he's paying for 2 nights at a Hilton in Tallahassee, and he said this is more than the Rose Festival in Tokyo. Yeah, so as now I'll be up there for that game, and now I'm going to make it my mission to help Ryan get up there. But that being said, I got last year I got to go to some other games because when Florida State was so bad last year, I just didn't feel like making the trip to Tallahassee after a while and other games. So I went to Ohio State, Michigan, and had a wonderful response by their fans. They knew I was a Florida State guy there. I'm always going to wear something Florida State. I went to Texas Clemson in the playoffs. So this year I said, well, why not? Let's try some other games as well. So I have some other games I'm planning on going to besides Florida State. I'm hoping Florida State's better this year because I have more than one Florida State game to go to this year in mind. So yeah, Rock Nole channel. It's football season. I got some really cool vlogs planned, and I'm hoping I get these guys in my vlog at some point. I got Vince last year. Vince was in my Dublin vlog.
That's right. Jeremy does great work, and it's like I said at the beginning of the show. It's not just about the Noles. There's sports involved. It's travel. It's a bunch of different things, and he does a great job. So
what are
if
the
you're not
odds?
subscribed to his channel, also do that.
Please.
What are the odds? Because Vince and I have talked about it for years and years. What are the odds we get a Garnet and Old and Rock and Nole cruise?
It's let me tell you, this needs to happen. And we have Vince and I talked about it that night. We have some cool ideas with the cruise. Get a group rate and do a live stream, both channels at the same time. We know you're an avid cruiser too, Ryan. Yeah. So
every year,
I think this off season, we should do our own cruise. The boosters are doing their thing in Europe,
and it doesn't have to be 7 days. We can do because sometimes
3-4 days.
Yeah, 3-4 days. Just go make it a fun one. Just hang out.
Why can't we get a group rate? We can make it Noles centered in some ways, and if we're a group, they're going to cater to us in some ways.
Yeah, out of Port Canaveral, please.
We'll get on that.
We'll
get on that.
Miami.
Somebody wanted to know about the poll, so I put the poll back up here real quick.
The Slido poll.
Cody, you can get that QR code there and do the poll. For those of you that are joining late, we're going to keep this poll open for the whole next week.
I had to post that.
You can get Captain Black, the fisherman, on a cruise ship. I mean, how cool would that be?
Tomcat, is that the mother-in-law's? I'm sorry.
Yep.
Hopefully you like your
All right, Jeremy.
I like my mother-in-law, so. Yeah.
Jeremy, if you do not mind, if you could stay logged in for a while, you can close your camera, turn your mic off. I need to upload your video. So just stay logged in. But thanks for joining the show, and I'll be in touch.
All right, guys. It's been a show. It's been a good show. We went long, but I think it's when we get closer to the season and it's not just fluff. It's easy. You see now. I always think about if you were doing a 3-hour a day show like Cameron, it must just be the worst to plan.
Oh my gosh!
In the summertime.
But they are pros, man. They do more than just Florida State. They do everything. But
just in season though, no problem.
You remember February and March, Ryan? We were like, what are we going to talk about this week? So
what did
luckily,
DJ's dad have for dinner?
Yeah, luckily, we got the AP poll come out. We've got a little fisticuffs at the
Slido poll
at the camp, the Slido poll. So there's a lot to talk about now, and it's only going to be more and more and more.
Yep. Well, guys, it's been real. As always, screw ESPN eternally, even though I'll be signing up promptly for their new streaming service. No inside info, no contacts, no problem. And Vince, take us off.
Hey, everybody. The Chiefs are starting their tryouts tomorrow, preseason training, and they're getting geared up for the season. And as Dave Plack said in last week's show, currently the only game they're going to that they know of for sure is the Florida game. And so if that's not okay with you, let's get in the habit of sending Chiefs all the damn time. Go Noles.
Go Noles. Have a great weekend, everyone. Take care.